Welcome back to the NAILD convention. This show is brought to you by Keystone Technologies. Greg Eric, go to KEYSTONETECH.com. The Big Easy, that's right. The easy street, keep it easy, light made easy with KeystoneTech.com. We're here with Al Usinski of Inside Lighting. Al, welcome to the NAILD convention. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here. Of course, they put the NAILD convention in the Smart Center compared to all the
That's where
areas
we belong.
that you could be. You're in the Smart Center, and the energy and the crew looks good here. The content has been great, so congrats on what looks to be like a pretty productive session so far.
And this
Thank
is
you.
your first NAILD convention, I assume?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
okay.
Yeah.
We haven't had one for a little while, but it's good
been
to
a
be
while.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're also attending the ArcLight Summit too, as well?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I came in early to check out what you folks are doing, but here for ArcLight Summit, there's 90 or so exhibitors, a number of participating agent partners, and that's kind of the wheelhouse of what we look
Nice.
at Inside Lighting, catching up with people who are on the front lines and hearing what's new and seeing the new fixtures in person compared to the PowerPoints and spec sheets that we've been looking at online for the last few years.
What do you got planned? Any videos you're going to do, or interviews, or just kind of on the fly?
Yeah, so we don't have any really major production plan. We'll probably do a recap article and maybe a little mashup video showing some of the highlights. But no, I think the shows, if there's a lighting show, I should be at it for Inside Lighting.
Definitely.
And check it out. And then on the bonuses that you guys made the smart decision to co-locate and have your group here, which I think is a win-win. And the other thing I like about this venue is that it's not at a hotel ballroom. It's not, and even though the hotel ballrooms are nice, you can have weddings and bar mitzvahs that are fantastic. It's not at a convention center either. The Dallas Market Center, it's a lovely space. They own the show and they own the space, which frankly was really, I think, one of the main reasons why they were having events here during the pandemic is because they didn't have to get all that. And also being in the state of Texas helped things too locally, but from that perspective, they were able to kind of have everything under their control in a way that provides a uniquely different experience here at the Dallas Market Center.
And we're in our own world. We're surrounded by lighting.
Yeah, that's true.
How awesome is that?
Yeah. When you think about ArcLight, how they're new. How are they going to carve themselves? I mean, starting a lighting trade show in 2021. I mean, sounds like a crazy idea, but here we are, and I think it's a wonderful thing. How can ArcLight, what's going to be its identity? What do you think it's going to work itself out on a yearly basis?
Well, I think, and some a media sponsor, but we don't pay each other or anything. So I think there's some positive things, but then some challenges. And you look at any show that starts is going to start slow because it doesn't have a following. It doesn't have that FOMO that's built up by people who haven't attended or haven't exhibited in the past. And there's been some changes in the landscape of a lot of the regional shows of yesteryear, pre-pandemic, that have gone away due to the organizing company going bankrupt. So there was a void, but also there wasn't any like South Central shows either. So I think they build themselves as a national show, but I think right now it's viewed mostly as a regional show, which is okay. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think also what they're doing and what they might be able to position themselves as is having content that's just not the same topics that you see on every webinar and every trade show conference that's out there. They try to add some of the content that you would expect people who are seeking CEUs to have, but then also they put different twists on it or different speakers that bring different things to the table on lighted topics or lighting related topics too. So I'm a fan of regional shows. I hope this one succeeds. I think we'll see if the people show up and the quality of people show up that make the exhibitors feel like it was a worthwhile experience, because as the exhibitor list grows from 89 this year to 100 something next year and 200 something 5 years from now, I think that'll be the test.
The first, and I don't want to talk about trade shows the whole time, but I think that, an interesting model was that kind of blew up was education. That's an interesting, they've carved out something special for themselves there. You know what I mean? It's unique. It was different. So they pulled off the heist. We'll see if ArcLight can do the same thing as time goes on, have a unique identity and build that following you were talking about, and having it at the same place every year, I think, is also helpful. People know where it is, what time of year it is. They know where they're going. So I think that's right. What's going on in lighting? Are we gonna see a lot of mergers and what's going on in the boardrooms out there in that of the lighting industry right now? Is it mergers, acquisitions? Are we gonna see bankruptcies? What are you thinking?
Well, I think we cover a lot of those things when they happen,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's the news hits and it's like, oh, I heard whispers about that, and now here's the
Mm,
announcement. But then other times it's like, oh my gosh, who saw that coming? And
mm,
as mergers and acquisitions go, those things are intentionally kept private on a need to know basis.
mm,
But if someone's parachuting in from Europe to take a look at a factory in the USA, sometimes those things are hard to keep secret too. So that's how some of the whispers start. But I do see that there are definitely lots of buyers who are, because I'm connected with lots of execs at various companies who they're interested in writing a check for a good investment of a smaller company that serves a certain niche. And then I think there's also some baby boomer age
mm,
owners of smaller lighting manufacturers
mm,
who are probably at the point where all these supply chains and everything else, and they don't have a legacy plan
mm,
to sell to a family member, or pass it on to a family. So they're in the process of evaluating those options too. So I think we've seen some decent activity even during the pandemic, when
mm,
it was probably hard to value a company because
mm,
when
mm.
you tap the brakes on 2020 sales,
Sure.
how do you value a company when the sales were so crazy with the blip that happened in the middle of 2020? But now that things are steady, and actually sales look good because of all these price increases, you can sell 15% less product and have an even sales number because of
Mm,
the price increases.
sure.
So I think some of those valuations will still be favorable for the sellers too.
Mm.
Very good.
Well, I mean, you talked about a price increase, and like you hear the word price increase, but like that's how you make money, by increasing prices. It's like you want to make more money? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? You increase your prices, actually. That's like the number one way to increase your profit, is to increase your price. Easiest thing you can do. And you know what? Most people are operating on percentages, right? So when the price increase comes across, you just mark it up. Everybody wins.
Mhm.
Let's raise the prices. I'm happy with that. I think we've hit the bottom. We know what it costs to make a TLED, right? And we've kind of bottomed out. How much is it for a fixture? It's time to raise the prices. It's time to add some value to things, which is why, the session going on right now at the NAILD convention, which is taking place at the ArcLight Summit, is lighting businesses are high profit. Let's keep it that way, man. Let's not get like we want. In one sense, I'm often accused of saying everything should be a commodity. When I say that, what I mean is that it should be reliable and cheap and easy to access for everybody. That's what commodities are good. It gives everybody access. It's commoditization is equitization, or whatever you want to call it. It gives all people access to technology. And so I'm not saying that we won't, but we don't. We also want to raise those prices so we can make more money, so people don't have to merge and acquire. Well, I don't mind, So why is it? Why Al do we? Is it like reported on badly? I feel like we should report that prices are increasing with joy.
Well, I don't know. Help me understand the premise of your question. Why do you feel that price increases are reported on badly?
Yeah, I feel like it's a negative thing,
I think it usually is. Maybe it's how you. I don't know. I always see it as a negative too when I see it, when I read it.
but it's
You
not.
know,
It's awesome.
Yeah, and I think
awesome
actually,
price increase.
and you guys deal with end users and contractors all the time,
All
and
the time.
I feel
Yeah.
like people are used to it now. Like in the last couple of years, it's been like the reaction to a price increase. There's not this outrage that there maybe used to be. An outrage is probably a strong word, but it doesn't rub people negatively. It's kind of like expected now. But at the same time, I think yes, as smart retailers, sellers, value-added resellers, et cetera, there's ways to maximize your profits and actually leverage a price increase in a good way for your
Sure.
business, and have your company swallow it and enjoy it, or maybe not enjoy it, but not make it taste okay for your customers, and
Sure.
not make it taste like something that you're just on a money grab and a shakedown. Because ultimately, it's about the value, and I think that's one of the themes of this conference that you folks are having for Nailed. If some contractor is considering buying something from a nail distributor or a local big box retailer, I mean, you guys probably have those talking points down, the 17 reasons why it makes more
Sure.
sense to purchase from a nail distributor with all the value and intelligence that you folks bring
Mm,
to the table to add value. And I think that's the same thing on a price increase. It's the components, the logistics, and blah blah
mm.
blah. But you know that you're going to be there. They're going to buy from you because you're the one that's going to be there to get them out of that jam and help them, and then they can swallow a 17% price increase over the last 12 months because of that value that you guys bring.
Business owners out there, I want you to do something. I want you to grab your P&L, okay? And I want you to put it in Excel. And then I want you to take your top line revenue and I want you to increase it by 2% and see what that does to your profit margin. It's going to increase your profit margin by 50 or 60%. So if you increase your prices by 2%, your bottom line margins are going to go way up. Just go do it. Put it in Excel, I'm telling you, and times it by 1.02 or with 102% or whatever, and then just watch how magically your profits go up. Then the next thing you do is, can you raise your prices by 2%? Yes. Can you decrease your costs by 2%? And you're going to, if you do those two, focus on those two things in your business, increasing prices by 2% and reducing cost of goods sold by 2%, you're going to be way more profitable. I'm telling you right now, buy better, sell for more. Those are the two keys to making tons of money in business. And what does it come down to? Price increases. You increase your price, you make a ton more money. That is why Silicon Valley and all the companies are awash with cash right now, because they were able to increase their prices over the pandemic. People swallowed it and they made a fortune. So I would say let's do more price increases, lighting industry. Al, any final thoughts? We're here at ArcLight. We're going to check out now. What do you got for the Get a Grip, the NAILD listener out there right now listening to this live stream?
Well, I want to take my opportunity to share a final thought and just ask you two a final question.
Sure.
You talked about the top line and then the costs. What costs right now are the toughest to keep down from a distributor standpoint?
Human resources
Yes.
cost, bud.
Yeah. Human resource. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the salaries or the benefits associated with those individuals, or both?
He doesn't have benefits. For me, yes.
Okay.
Canada's different.
Yeah, well, so we have, like, we don't have to pay for health insurance for people.
Right.
But we do have health plans, but they're like auxiliary health plans, like massages and stuff like that. Not really core health needs that you'd have. But yeah, listen, the problem is that, we were just talking the other day, traffic's back again. There was no traffic for a long time, and the cars are expensive to drive, and people are sitting in traffic and using a lot of gas. And I tried to like give them gift cards for gas, and I tried to hold it back, but then I had to give them a raise. There was just no other way around it because people couldn't afford what they wanted to buy.
Yeah.
And why work if you can't have fun?
Agreed, and I think
Yeah.
it's great that you did that, and it's the retention. And it's happening in all aspects of it: manufacturers, distributors, and I think really the biggest pain point are contractors who are installing these
Oh
darn lights
shoot,
that
yeah.
everyone's
Oh,
selling,
for
right?
sure.
Right.
So I think there's the whole challenge there, and let's just hope that there's ways around that, and that we can find a way to all get these projects done on time or as close to on time as possible, and remain profitable while doing that.
There you go.
There you go. Al Usinski, Inside Dot Lighting, and of course, thanks to our sponsor, Greg, Keystone
right.
Technologies. That's KEYSTONETECH.com. The Big Easy. Go check them out. Bye for now.